to the episode of the Calcio Bros. I'm Luca, this is Christian. I'm going to preview the games for this week of Serie A. And to start off this week on Saturday, we have Juve versus Chievo at 12 p.m. And what do you think of how the game's going to go?
It's going to be an interesting one. I feel Juve want to get back to their superstardom in a way, just because they've been lacking, really, their flow, you could say, in their last couple of games.
Well, they did lose Bonucci and they lost
Dani Alves.
And Kadir, I think, is injured now too for a while. So I think even Marquisio is injured. So that may impact their midfield a little bit, maybe a little shaky. Pjanic should have to step up, and same with their Douglas Costa. He's gonna have to step up on that wings. And so it'll be interesting to see how Chievo does, especially at home to Juve. It's never easy.
Yeah, playing at the now Allianz Stadium. I have to get used to that. But honestly, it's to see Juve struggle. We're glad to see it, but they managed to come back that one year where they were almost relegated, so low near the bottom where they could have been relegated. But they need to pick it up for them. But we can see Chievo can be a little tricky. But playing at home, Juve do always play good. They tend to win. They've only had 1 or 2 losses, maybe all time at the Allianz or Juventus Stadium. But we'll see how they do. Any other thoughts, I guess?
Not really. Chievo is a good side. You can play well as a team, but I think Juve is going to win this one in the end. And then following that, we have Sampdoria vs Roma at 2:45. My team better win. I'll be so mad.
Samp is always a tricky
Samp is very, very hard. I love that stadium where Samp in general have it. It's so much passion there. Yeah, the feel is amazing. And Roma do tend to struggle even against Genoa. So it is going to be weird and tough for Roma. But as well, it's funny how we bought Schick and now he's going back to Sampdoria to play
first game, I believe.
I don't think he's going to start, but I think it'll be weird for him to come back and maybe come as a sub. I would be not happy if he scores a winner, but it's such a
But
funny
Sampdoria
event.
always do provide problems for you guys.
So,
I think they did cost you a Scudetto one year, where you could have really pushed for it. I believe either if it was against Inter in their years of dominance or during Juve's years of dominance. Who knows? But they can be a tricky customer for any team. They did have some good pickups. They did bring in Zapata to replace Schick, who is a good person up front. He probably will work well with Quagliarella. But we'll see. Honestly, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Sam, I think this is a really good game to watch, and I suggest everyone watch this game because not just for a Roma fan, but seeing the Sampdoria home field and seeing them play at home, it is a great experience, especially for any Italian fan to see that. And yeah.
But also on Roma's note, they do need to pick it up. They were a little lacking in the last couple of weeks. They did get the win against Atalanta away, but then they did lose at home.
Yeah,
so that's
we did lose, but the way we played was good. Offensively, we hit 3 posts. We had so many chances. Inter, I'm not saying we deserved maybe a small win, maybe a 1-0 win, or even a draw with Inter, because Inter, I'm not saying they played bad, but I feel like we played better than Inter. But obviously, they got the win. What am I going to say?
And that is football, though, too. No matter how you dominate, you can still lose a match. It happens, I guess, right? But
what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Yeah. So. And then following that, on Sunday morning, we have at 6:30 a.m. Inter versus Spal. Interesting game, but in the end, I think Inter will take this. Spal still struggling to be back in the Serie A field.
Well, they did win last week, but
yeah, which is still very much surprising for them. I'm happy for them that they're winning, but Inter side look very dominant.
And they do have the experience, but it depends if that experience will bring up to the prolific players that Inter do have. So it'll see how, again, players like Poloski and Borriello will fare against Skriniar or Miranda, Handanovic. It's those type of caliber players that Spal may not have, but they do have players that have played in Serie A for a while, and that's what they're looking to have. Again, Inter will probably take the match. I'm not saying by much, maybe. I'd say 1, maybe 2 goals, Could be 2-1. You know.
The Inter always pull something out, and especially when they play Sassuolo, it's like always 7-0, which is very surprising. But I don't know, we'll see. Spalletti loves to score goals, so I think it'll be an interesting game. And then after, so I'll take this one. And after that, we have at 9 a.m. Atalanta, Sassuolo, Cagliari, Crotone, Lazio, Milan, Udinese, Genoa, and Verona, Fiorentina.
Big game of the day, I would say it's the Lazio Milan game.
I think it's tied with Samp Roma. I don't know, because Lazio again doing very shaky. They got a close victory against who did they play? That's the thing, Spal. No, Spal they played first game. And
They tied.
tied.
And then I believe they won away.
To Chievo.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 1-0, 2-1. They could run. They're. Everyone was a little hype for them, but I don't know. They're still a bit struggling there in the attacking force in the midfield area. And I think obviously Milan will still be good competitors for them, but
It'll be Milan's true test, considering this is the biggest opposition they faced since the investment. Sorry, not since the investment, but since they used the money that was brought in to purchase all these players, and it'll be a return for Biglia. So let's see now what Montella can do. Like, who knows? We could end up losing the match. I will probably be disappointed, but it's tough to say considering most of these players haven't played only for a month and a half together. Again, this is the biggest match we have to play because teams like
so far.
But like teams against Cagliari, Crotone, Craiova, and however hell you say that other team's name, they were not like
Big
Juventus
teams.
caliber. They were not Barcelona caliber. So we could have played a reserve team, which we sort of did in the second leg of the third qualifying round. Still managed to win barely, but this will be interesting to see what Montella will have up his sleeves in order to get the away win, in order to beat Lazio and to continue Milan's undefeated run so far.
And I feel like another interesting game that will happen is Atalanta Sassuolo. Atalanta looking for their first win of the Serie A season. Sassuolo trying to get a different turn when Di Francesco left of their team. And I feel like that will be a very back and forth game with both teams pushing for that victory. And even Fiorentina versus Verona. Verona also looking for their first win. Same with Fiorentina. They're not the best this year, Fiorentina. And sorry for those Fiorentina fans out there, but I don't know. You guys kind of skipped out on the good transfers for this year.
Yeah, they could have bought some people to replace all the players they sold, but they'll probably take the win, maybe, or it could probably even finish as a draw, but I'm thinking it'd probably be like a low Fiorentina win. 1-0, 2-1, just a one-goal game. So with Atalanta, again, they're looking for the first win. Sassuolo can be tricky as well, but Atalanta have this week as well their Europa League game, so they may even be looking to that. They may not have the depth to do that, so they may screw them over this year. We probably won't see them finish as high as fourth again this year. But they are an interesting team. They do have a lot of young players, a lot of talent. Let's see what they can make do of it. Let's see if they can improve. Let's see if they can get a win.
And Atalanta are a very strong side. Even when Roma played, we struggled a little bit. Even their second game, who did they play the second game? Do you remember? I think it was.
My God.
Who did they play? But I feel I watched that game too. They had a very good match, and they're just unlucky with that win, with that loss.
They lost to Napoli.
Yeah, I remember they gave Napoli a run for their money too, which was a really good, entertaining game. But Napoli in the end took the win. But I feel like we have some interesting games and some back and forth plays going to happen.
And then after all those games, we have a midday game between Benevento and Torino. Benevento probably also looking for their first win, first point. They're playing against a good side in Torino. Torino looking good. Honestly, Benevento probably has no chance in my opinion, but you never know with some of these teams, right?
Benevento did play good their first game. They got that goal, and then even though they did lose, they see that they're starting to come out of their shell in the Serie A form, and they're pushing for that the first win. And then after at 2:45, we have Bologna versus Napoli. Napoli's a very strong side to watch out for this year. and Bologna as well. I think have they won a game yet? I don't think so.
I know they tied their first game against Torino, and they did, yeah. They beat Benevento, last weekend.
Okay.
So they can be tricky though. There have been a lot of Bologna-Napoli games where Bologna have taken the victory in the last couple of years, but they can be tricky. We'll see what happens. They do have a great player in Verdi. They have Di Francesco. Destrov, he can have a good game. So it depends how they play, but I still think Napoli will take it. Napoli is too strong. They're too consistent in a way where they don't alter their team too much. They don't make many changes to their lineup, so everyone's playing
with each other.
So often that they know what to do. That's gonna be tough. Like especially with Napoli looking for the Scudetto. We'll see what happens, I guess, right? So, I guess who do you think are some players to watch out for?
I think Belotti is one of them. It's a good game to watch out. He could score some big amount of goals. I think Schick, even, to see if he actually ends up playing against Sam and see the reaction of that Sam Stadium, if it's a positive or negative.
Probably more negative, though. But
I do. They got a lot of money off that, 42 million.
But they didn't get it this year.
No, it's a 4-year deal. It spans on.
But it's also a loan with obligation. So again, there's only a few millions they're getting this year. The rest coming after. So probably be a negative reception though. But
I think even Borriello for the Spal forward, seeing what they can do with the Inter defense, and as well as the Lazio midfield facing off against a Milan strong midfield to see who will beat out who.
Well, it may not be that strong if we start Montolivo, so we'll see.
He's just a lost cause. Sorry, Montolivo, but you're a lost cause. But anyway, guys, let us know who you think is a player to watch as well. What do you think the game of the weekend is? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and let us know what you guys think. See ya.
We'll hear from you guys soon. Ciao.